Welcome to The Show Off, the podcast where we make each other sit down, shut up, and watch episodes of our favorite TV shows and then explain, or be forced to listen to, why it's top-tier television. This show is for anyone who has ever wanted to go on endless tangents about their favorite shows, but their friends and family don't want to hear it. We get it. Ditch those losers and come hang out with us instead. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Kampy.
And this is The Show Off.
Previously on the Show Off podcast.
So why don't you tell us what category and what show you're picking for the next episode of The Show Off?
Comedy. Short form, sitcom, whatever your flavor.
This is Kampy's genre. It is not mine.
We're watching Always Sunny. Season 13, episode 7, The Gang Does a Clip Show. So it's an anti-sitcom.
So it's like funny at the character's expense.
Exactly. I only got a few years left and I want to get real weird with them.
We're good. Hi, welcome back to my place. Welcome back to my office.
The birthplace of the Show Off podcast.
Truly. And is it just as warm as you remember?
It is. It's quite toasty. Sauna-like, I would say.
Just imagine this peak summer.
I know. How do you, honestly, I don't know how you do it.
You want to know what one of my tricks is?
What?
So I do have the air conditioning unit in my bedroom. But it's very weak sauce and it doesn't get to the office.
Yeah, you need one in here.
Yeah, which I'm working on.
She
sort
says.
Of.
She claims.
One of my tricks in the summer when it's really hot and I cannot bear it anymore, I have a garbage can that I've never actually used as a garbage can. I'll point that out. So it's clean and sterile.
Okay.
I fill it with cold water and ice cubes and then I just stick my legs in it. And that's how I work.
Actually, that's pretty ingenious. Wait, then you work that way? Oh my God.
I have to be real careful not to like spill it, like dump it because my monitor is on the ground next to it. But that's how I get it done.
How big is this garbage can?
It's this one right here.
Okay, all right.
So I don't know how to judge that size.
You crazy.
Just enough to barely fit both my legs in.
You crazy.
It works.
Well, I guess
I got poor kid mentality. What can I say?
And you have the cheapest rent.
I really do.
Yeah.
I really do.
That's the trade-off.
Which is why I'm never gonna leave.
Right. I mean, once it starts getting properly like fall and winter,
it's great. In the winter, it's great because I got the heater in here, so I just crank up the heat, close the office door. And then turn the heat off as soon as I'm too hot. And then I just get to sit in a sauna for most of the day. It's fabulous.
You like this?
No.
Okay. I just need some clarification.
No, I don't like it. I just have a system.
Okay. You've been here.
I'm proud of my system.
And how long have you been here? Since 2020?
4 years now.
Because we moved at about the same time.
Yeah, 21 is when I moved in.
Yeah, so over 4 years.
Almost 4 years.
Oh, really? It was later? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll be going on year 5 in November.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
This is the longest I've lived in a place since I left for college.
Yeah, that was my apartment too.
Yeah.
For sure. I just moved out for the record.
Yeah, you did.
I'm back at my mom's for a bit.
I was going to say, your rent is also super low now.
Yes. Yeah, my rent just dropped significantly. Thanks, Mom. But unfortunately that just means we can't use my beautiful apartment living room to record in temporarily. But I'm thinking I'm going to be in a new place by like spring next year. So I will be considering what the podcast setup will be when looking for future apartments.
Hell yeah.
But for the moment, I just wasn't finding what I was looking for, particularly down here.
Down in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because it's a great neighborhood.
In your neck of the woods. That's really where I want to be. But yeah, it just wasn't happening. So anyway, we're back.
Yes, we are.
And what are we doing today?
We are watching one of my favorite shows. It's tied. Slightly. It's not tied. It's slightly below. So I guess it's my number 2. Slightly below Bob's Burgers. We're watching Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
America's longest running live action sitcom.
Is it really?
It is, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you said 17 seasons, right?
Oh God, is that what they're at now? Yeah, that sounds right.
That's what I saw on Hulu or wherever.
Yeah, which I, to be honest, have not watched any of season 17 yet.
Yeah.
I think it's coming out right now, and I tend to wait until everything's out and then just binge it in one go.
Yeah, you're a binger.
I am.
Plus, which for this kind of show, I can't blame you.
Yeah, and I kind of have to rewatch the whole show, and then watch season 17. So it's a process.
Yep, classic Kampy.
Yeah, I'm on season 3 right now.
Oh my God.
But yeah, we are going to be watching. Well, we did watch.
Yeah.
Season 13, episode 7. The Gang Does a Clip Show.
Indeed.
So before I get into stats, thoughts,
first reactions. Yeah, so this is my first time watching the show.
Wait, what? I thought you saw episodes before.
No.
Wait, seriously?
No, nothing. Yeah, no. I've seen like ads for it,
Oh my God, what an introduction.
I know. Does that I thought you knew that.
That's hilarious.
Does that change what episode you might have showed me otherwise?
No, I actually think this is even a better choice.
Yeah. No, I think I think this was a good choice as well. For this particular type of show, which I would never normally watch.
Yeah.
Like, it's not my vibe.
Not your style. That's, fair.
Yeah. But I appreciated the sort of 2000s sitcom of it all. And this episode in particular does take some wild turns that were very fun. So, yeah, I would say overall impression, there were a lot of times where I was like, I don't know. But then there were moments where they genuinely made me laugh. And then, just the trajectory overall of the episode was very entertaining. So
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I'll take that over your reaction to Over the Garden Wall.
Yeah. I would say I would give this like a 7 out of 10.
Woo!
So a C.
That's passing.
It's passing.
C's get degrees, baby.
That seems appropriate for this show.
Yes. Yes.
The vibes are on.
I'm pretty sure all of them passed high school, even Charlie somehow.
Barely.
Hey, kids are passing high school these days without being literate. So,
True.
In the realm of possibility. Anyway, any other thoughts before I do the stats rundown?
Nah, give me some stats.
Okay. So, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, frequently called just Always Sunny.
Isn't it? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, okay, you're right. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Everyone calls it Always Sunny. Come on.
Okay.
You're totally right. Started in 2005.
Oh my God.
As you said, they're on season 17 at this point. Created and starring Rob McElhenney, Glenn Howerton, and Charlie Day. Also starring Caitlin Olsen and Danny DeVito, as well as a slew of other recurring characters who we love dearly. Yeah.
Are those 3 main guys who are the creators also the writers?
Yes.
And it's just them?
Yeah.
Okay. That tracks.
I mean, yes. Actually, since we're doing the stats piece, I wanted to jump ahead a little bit to talk about the pitch of the show, because I love reading up on how shows got pitched and picked up and developed and stuff.
I love when you do this.
Yeah. And I think Always Sunny story is on brand.
Okay. I'm ready.
So Rob, Charlie, and Glenn, our 3 creators and our 3 leads, were out of work actors in LA.
Yeah.
Looking for stuff. And Rob had what he called basically a night terror of this person who has cancer and another person who's going to their place to get sugar. The person with cancer confides in them, hey, I have cancer. And the other person doesn't give a shit and just wants the sugar and get out as fast as possible.
Okay.
And that one dream became sort of the premise for what the whole show would become.
Okay.
So, which we'll revisit that in a moment. When they did the pitch, they created a pilot in order to bring this pitch to different studios. So it's just a 7-minute pilot episode, so to speak.
I guess they're short episodes.
Yeah. And I mean, as far as like a pilot pitch goes too, I think that's pretty on brand. It's mostly just to be like, this is the vibe. Do you like it?
Sure.
And they shot this 7-minute skit on a camcorder.
A camcorder.
It's
real fucking janky and poor quality. I love it.
Amazing.
It's on YouTube if you want to watch it.
Of course it is.
Yeah, they brought it to FX and they loved it. They thought it was funny. They thought it was different.
Yeah.
But the original premise was the characters in the show were out of work actors in LA.
Okay.
And they said, no, we've done LA too many times. Change the setting.
Okay.
And Rob's originally from Philadelphia, so he was like, well, let's go to Philadelphia with it. Fuck it, let's go to a bar.
Sure.
So that's how we get it set in a bar in Philadelphia.
Okay, but then are any of them actors still?
No.
Okay.
Well, Dee tries to be.
Okay.
She's a failed actress.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's how it got picked up. There's a trivia fact / rumor, I don't know what to call it, that kind of floats around that the pilot for Always Sunny was shot with $500.
Sounds right.
That's a lie.
No?
When they pitched it to the studio asked them, hey, what did this cost? And it was literally just them in their apartment with a camcorder they already owned. So they just made up a number and it was $500.
Sure.
So it basically costed them nothing.
Yeah.
To make this thing that got them picked up and has now become one of the greatest successful sitcoms of all time.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like, well, from the clips they showed, I'm sure some episodes cost more than others, but it's probably a pretty low-cost show overall.
Overall, yes. I mean, they definitely pushed the studio and they pushed their boundaries and see what they can get away with. Coming back to the whole cancer person coffee scene.
Yeah.
When they were trying to cast Caitlin Olsen, well, the character that would become Dee, which is now Caitlin Olsen, they had that character read the scene of the person trying to get sugar from the other person with cancer. And she loved it. She did the whole reading. They thought she was hilarious. And they loved her so much, they're like, okay, you got the role. And that night they all go to dinner. And they're talking about that scene, and they're talking about how that's going to be a scene between Charlie and Glenn's character. Okay. And Caitlin's like, wait, so that's not me? Like, what is my character going to be? Am I just going to be the wet blanket of the gang? And like, it hadn't even occurred to Rob, like, yeah, a lot of women are just written to be the person that holds the men up and slows everyone down. And he has, had to reflect on that and was like, well, she was really funny. Why can't she just be as narcissistic as the rest of these assholes? And so, yeah, they made sure to write her as just as horrible as everybody else.
Equality.
Exactly. Equal rights, baby. So, yeah, that's kind of the setup I wanted to give.
Yeah.
That's where the show was born. I will say there were some cool quotes that I come across, too. I frequently see in, like, interviews and, like, I read and different stuff that Charlie Day, Glenn Howerton, and Caitlin Olsen all give Rob the credit for the entire show, more or less, saying like he's the genius behind it,
the brainchild.
Yeah, he's the one with the motivation. He has a vision. They always talk about how he has this vision for the show and he's really good at executing it. But Rob himself humbles himself and just says, well, I have the motivation, but they have the talent to carry it out.
Sure.
And that they all just kind of feed and fester off each other, I guess, to create what this is. So.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's where I'll leave it for now. We'll come revisit some of these fun factoids because I can't help myself, but we'll save that for the end of the podcast.
Do you know if they pitched it anywhere else besides FX?
I'm pretty sure they did, from what I remember, and everywhere else is like, what the fuck is this?
I was gonna say, do you know which networks?
No, I can't tell you that.
I'm just curious.
Off the top of my head, but
I wonder who passed on it and then regretted their entire life.
Yeah, and from what I vaguely remember, they did take it to a couple of places, and it's just so far outside the box of what a sitcom is supposed to be.
Sure.
No, that's changed a little bit more because of Always Sunny now.
Yeah.
At the time, yeah. So yeah, that's our setup. Should we get into the episode?
Let's do it.
Okay. 2 p.m. on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Cue the theme music. And all the gang members are complaining because their phones are slow as shit. Mm-hmm. And, Mac says, I'm going to keep doing that. Fuck. Mac says, oh, I hear if you install the software update for your phone, everything works so much faster.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, okay. So everyone's going into their settings to install the update. They're like, oh, how long is that going to take? Oh, 30 minutes. 30 minutes? What the fuck are we supposed to do with 30 minutes?
Whole minutes.
And Mac suggests, we could kick back and remember the good days. Like, just shoot the shit. And Dennis is immediately against this because that's what you do when you get old. You relive the glory days. Cue some of the most heinous, crazy, wild, out-of-the-box shit.
Yeah.
That is the glory days.
Yeah. Of the show.
Mm-hmm. And Frank jumps on this opportunity to immediately bring up what is probably one of the most iconic scenes of Always Sunny, and I would love your telling of it.
This is the couch scene, right?
Yes.
Okay. There's some kind of party going on.
Mm-hmm. It's a business Christmas party.
Okay, is that what it is? Party. Okay, that's what I thought. This man, Frank, there's a leather couch. There's a leather couch. This man emerges from this couch, buck-ass nude, sweaty, and just is like birthed from this couch. It was horrible, honestly. I kind of hated it.
You weren't laughing?
I mean, I was honestly, no, actually, I don't think I was. I was mostly like shock and horror. I was like, ew, gross. He's so sweaty. He is so sweaty. And it's Danny DeVito, and you just see him climb out of this couch, and everyone else is just like, what the fuck is going on? And he's just, I don't even know what he's doing. He's like making noises of
he's just
dismay.
Panting. It's hot as shit in there. I couldn't be in there any longer.
And then he just kind of like runs out of the room. Nude. And that's the clip.
Hanging dong.
You see his ass. Yeah.
I don't know if you caught the line, but Dennis and Dee are like, but did you hear her? She called you an asshole. And they're just like berating him as he's coming out of this couch naked.
Yeah, I was confused.
So I don't know if I should give you context for that or not.
I don't think you need to.
Fair enough.
I don't think you need to.
Anyway, that's the scene.
What I wrote is, oh God, the couch. Oh, he's so sweaty. Oh no. That's what I got.
Honestly, to me, it's one of the most iconic scenes of the show.
I couldn't say why. Again, this just goes to show you not my humor.
No.
I mean, like, it was funny, but I was mostly shocked and appalled.
Yeah. I feel like that's the vibe the show gives.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the scene, and we smash cut to our title convention. The gang does a clip show.
Yes.
Yes. Almost every title of every episode starts with the gang insert, and I don't. A lot of the titles are used for comedic effect as well.
Sure.
So I think there's one episode where, like, Dee is like, I'm not getting involved in your schemes right now. Like, you're gonna get me hurt. You guys are gonna get hurt. And then it smash cuts to the gang sets Dee on fire.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Right. The intro has already played also, right?
So this is where we get our whole title sequence. And it's the same one that they've used the
I was gonna say
entire show.
This looks like it's 20 years old.
Yes.
When I was watching it, I was like, this looks like it was from the 2000s.
Yeah, they have never once changed. I take that back. I think their season that they shot in Ireland might have been a little different.
They shot a season in Ireland?
Yeah.
A whole season?
This is what I mean. They pushed the boundaries of the studio. I'm pretty sure they just wanted a trip to Ireland.
Yeah, cool. Can't blame them.
Anyway, title sequence, roll credits. We're back in the bar. And they're all laughing about that memory. I even love Charlie brings up, man, the way you tell it was like I was there and I wasn't even there.
Yeah.
Because the only people that were there were Frank, Dee, and Dennis. So they're all laughing about that. And then Dee brings up one of her old characters. And starts doing a really horrible, I guess, like Mexican impression.
Yes.
Yeah, it's offensive.
It's very.
And
she does another one.
An Asian, I think a Taiwanese person impression. I think at one point when she's like trying to do the like Hispanic impression, Frank yells out like, "Oh, you're remembering the time you burned down the Mexican's house," which did happen.
Cool.
And so she does her very offensive Taiwanese impression as well, and they all stop her and they go, "That we've decided that isn't funny anymore."
Right. As a society.
Yes. And for some context, season 1 for sure, and possibly an episode or 2 in season 2, Dee does do like brown face and yellow face and like,
oh God,
some really horrible, because she's trying to be an actress and these are characters she created for her to like act and portray and like do street performance of, and they're very offensive.
Okay, cool.
And they're shows that you cannot find anymore on streaming services because times have changed. We've progressed.
Yes.
We know this is, and then part of the joke of the show is the joke's on them.
Yes.
They're horribly offensive people. That's the point. And we're supposed to make fun of how much of a colossal asshole they are.
Right.
But also
there's a line.
Modern sensibilities. Like, yeah. So I do appreciate that they bring that one back up to immediately be like, that was wrong. Because this show likes to get meta.
Sure.
Yeah. But then that transitions into, well, Dee wants to do an impression of Patty, her St. Patty's Day character. And she immediately trips and falls and smashes her head open.
Yeah.
Gets a nice gory cut on her head.
Yeah. I thought at this point, and something that happens later, I was like, oh my God, this show's a lot gorier than I thought it ever was.
Yeah. There's some pretty intense moments.
Yeah, that was crazy. Anyway.
But it gives them an idea of, let's do all the memories of Dee getting hurt. So smash into a montage of Dee getting hurt. Dee smacking her head into a car and denting it, which that was not intentional.
Oh, wow.
Her falling off a ladder at a factory, her down a well trying to save kittens, and Frank throwing a match down there so the whole well goes up in flames. Her getting elbowed in the face by Mac, her passing out on the set of Family Feud with a fart machine in her pocket and the fart machine just looping.
Oh, that's what that was. Okay, I was confused.
Any thoughts or questions on that?
No.
Nah, pretty straightforward montage. And then, Dee gets upset because she's like, you weren't even there for half of them. Which, the first two of her hitting her head on the car, her falling off the ladder in the factory, no one was there but her.
Right, the camera was there.
And they're reliving these memories for her. Which, again, the show just being meta and making fun of itself, and also sitcoms in general.
And, like, slowly segueing into this alternate reality thing we're going to do later.
It's really trying to, like, ease you in gently with some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Mac wants to relive the classic times. Some of the best, most classic memories of Always Sunny. And we go to our first one. Mall Santa.
Yeah.
Do you want to run through this one? I'm curious your point of view of this scene.
Which one of them is it?
The Mall Santa.
No, I know. Which guy is it?
Charlie, sorry.
Charlie sits on Mall Santa's lap and just starts saying, "Did you fuck my mom?" And
did you fuck my mom, Santa?
Yeah.
Did you fuck my mom? Did you fuck my fucking mom, Santa?
I was like, okay. I don't know. It wasn't that funny to me.
No. Anyway, he bites Santa in the neck.
Yeah. And then that was another part. And then his like mouth is all bloody. And I was like, holy shit. What? Oh my God.
Would you like additional context?
For that one, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. So
why does he think Santa fucked his mom?
So it's a whole Christmas special episode that they do. It's actually like a 40-minute episode. It's a long episode. I think it's the only episode where they like aired the F-bomb too. Or at least it's the first time that like I heard the F-bomb getting dropped in the show.
True, it is a cable show.
Yeah. But yeah, throughout the episode, Dee and Dennis are very reluctant to celebrate Christmas because it was a horrible time for them and they hated Christmas growing up and they don't want anything to do with the holiday. And Mac and Charlie are convinced that it was a great time and they loved it and their childhood was great around Christmas. And the episode is slowly them realizing how fucked up their childhood was.
Oh, okay.
And in Charlie's case, he talks about this great memory of how on Christmas Day, Santas would come by and give him presents and then go upstairs with his mom and he would get all these cool presents from all these different Santas. And then Mac points out to Charlie what's obvious. His mom is a prostitute and she was fucking all those guys.
Wow.
And Charlie has an entire breakdown and that's the culmination of him having that.
Wait, so this is him realizing his mom is a prostitute?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And then he attacks the mall Santa.
Yeah, he does.
Did you fuck my mom?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that scene. Then, yeah, a couple of other like quick ones that if you're a fan of the show, they'll probably make you laugh. If you're not, I'm curious what you think. First, we get the brakes aren't working, and then Charlie yelling, "'Cause I cut the brakes, wild card, bitches!" And then him jumping out the back. I love this one, and I think you probably hate it.
What is it?
They're in a limo. Frank's driving. Charlie's in the back with a date, and she asks if they can put the divider
the consumption
up
one?
Because she doesn't want to talk to the limo driver. And Charlie's like, "We can't do that. We don't want to exclude a great man," and immediately starts vomiting, but not vomiting. What would you call it?
No, it was vomiting
projectile,
blood.
like exorcist pea soup onto this woman, but blood.
Yeah.
And her screaming. And then him going, oh, don't worry, it's just a touch of the consumption.
Yeah. Yep, I hated it.
Followed by more vomiting blood.
Yep, I hated it. I didn't like it. Do not like. Skip. No, thank you.
I thought you would hate this one. Do you want context?
No.
Fair enough.
I am gonna point. If you're gonna keep going through them, I will tell you which ones actually made me laugh because I wrote them down.
Okay, cool. Next one is Mac and Dennis at a store, and Dennis saying, well, she's not gonna say no because of the implication.
Yeah, that wasn't funny either.
So that one is quoted a lot, which is why I think they used it.
Okay.
Because it is one of those running jokes. Like, I see it quoted all the time around the internet where people are like, because of the implication.
Okay.
It's saying the
if you
the quiet
take that
part
line
out loud.
just out of context, sure.
Yeah. Then let's see. What I'm gonna skip some of these because I don't think all of them are perfectly relevant. I like the one there. Max looking in the mirror and is just like, I don't feel like we're reading like eagles, and then it pans out and they're like covered in feathers. They got like
that was
bird hats
funny.
on their head, and
that
Dennis
was
is
funny.
like, "No, man, we look like assholes."
So, and then somebody says it looks like chickens.
Yeah, like, it's coming off more like chickens. This one to me is one of the. This is the hardest I've ever laughed watching an episode of Always Sunny. It is the scene of Mac in the bathroom washing his hands and going, "Oh, hey, D," and then the camera pans to an ostrich.
Yeah, this is one of the ones I thought was funny.
Going.
That was funny. That made me laugh. I wrote, okay, the ostrich made me laugh.
So there's a running bit throughout the show where the gang keeps calling Dee a bird. And like, especially in that episode, she was dressed, it was a Halloween episode and she was dressed as an angel. And they're like, you dressed as a giant bird. You literally have wings and feathers. Like, what the hell? You're a bird. And so they're like reliving that episode. Like, they're going through their memories of what happened that night. And that's Mac's memory of running into Dee in the bathroom.
Okay.
Is this ostrich. And the ostrich noise, I'm pretty sure is actually Caitlin Olsen doing that noise.
Love it.
Yes. Literally the hardest I've ever laughed watching the show.
Wait, so that is from another episode?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we get one of probably the most famous little speeches ever delivered in Always Sunny. Hello, fellow America. This you should vote me. I leave power. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Taxes. They'll be lower, son. The Democratic vote for me is the right thing to do, Philadelphia. So do.
Yeah.
Context?
Also not that funny for me out of context. I'm assuming... Yeah, sure. Give me the context.
Okay. Dennis is running for comptroller. Charlie is illiterate. Charlie wrote the speech for Dennis and wants Dennis to read it. That's all. Which is why Charlie's so proud and he's mouthing along as Dennis is reading the speech off.
Cool.
Yeah. Next memory is Mac is going to crash a car into a wall. Charlie's sitting in the car with him and Charlie's like, all right, cool, good luck, and wants to get out of the car. They bicker and argue. Charlie gets out of the car. Mac drives headfirst into the wall.
Yeah. Not that funny.
Does not get out of time.
This is like, it's, you know what it is? It's Jackass humor.
Yeah.
That's what, and like, I don't think that's funny. So.
I feel so called out right now. I grew up on Jackass, okay?
I mean, I don't knock it, but it's not for me. I'm like, just people just like, well, I guess, okay. I will bring this up here since we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Someone says earlier in the episode, I think it's Danny DeVito, says you can't beat physical comedy memories. They're timeless.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, I feel like that's a thesis for the show.
Mm-hmm.
Great. I understand the concept. There's like, but for me, there's like a line. People just getting hurt in stupid ways, not funny.
Fair.
Physical comedy where it's like someone is, I don't know, like Psych. Like physical comedy and Psych, like they do all kinds of crazy shit, but they're not necessarily driving a car into a wall.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, I think of that scene where they're trying to get over the fence and Sean just like runs at the, or Gus, I can't remember which one of them, just runs at the fence and like smashes into it. Like that's funny because they're trying to do something.
Do you remember the Ben and stretch.
Vaguely.
Or no, I dazzle and I stretch. I dazzle and I stretch.
Yeah, like that's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
And I think, to be fair, it's not like every episode is this, right? And I do think some of these jokes land better with the broader context of the episode.
And some lead up.
Yes,
for sure.
Absolutely.
I get it.
Because a lot of these moments are the punchline.
Right, exactly.
Right? It's there's been this idea that they think they're so smart, they think they're so clever. They're going to execute this idea and really get something over on someone else. Yeah. And then the punchline is them getting hurt.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, the next scene is them dancing to the song Freedom by George Michael. And then, do you want to describe it?
This was funny.
You are smiling.
This was funny.
I'm taking you like it.
I liked the imagined version of the dance number. I was like, ooh, dance number, awesome. And then when it showed them actually like drunk at what it looked like a high school reunion. Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like, doing this dance number and like just falling over themselves and being stupid. I was like, okay, that's funny.
Yeah, because the theme of the episode with the high school reunions is they thought they were cooler than they were in high school. And it's them now trying to get revenge on people who don't think they're cool. Okay. And so this dance number is like their last bid to try and prove how awesome they are. And so there's like, it's a whole scene where they're doing the dance and it looks fucking sick. Yeah. And it's really well shot, really well choreographed. And then, it just cuts to Mac with his shirt open and his beer gut out going, ugh! Yeah. And everyone else just dancing pathetically in the background.
Yeah.
I'm glad you like that
and looking
one.
really hammered.
Yes.
For sure.
And then we get to the scene that sets off the weird fever dream that is the rest of the episode.
Right.
Dennis they're in the bar and Dennis is saying, I can't do this shit anymore. I'm leaving. Goodbye, Patty's Pub. Goodbye, Philadelphia. Goodbye, Charlie, D, Dennis, or not Dennis, Mac and Frank. And then Mac jumps in, shuts the light off and says, goodbye, Philadelphia, and grabs Dennis's hand. Yeah. And Dennis is like, no. That is not what happened. Yeah. And is trying to correct the narrative because, to give you a little bit of context, because this is going to matter a little bit later in my rant. Okay. Season 12 ends with Dennis being confronted by a woman who he had a very brief affair with. Yeah. She's from North Dakota and she got knocked up. She had a son. She's in Philadelphia to let Dennis know, hey, here's your child. Wow. Do you want to be his father? Right. And the whole episode plays out of him trying to get out of it. So like at first pretending he's gay with Mac and then pretending he's a secret agent and he got shot and killed. And she doesn't buy any of it. And she eventually is like, look, if you don't want to be in his life, you don't have to be in his life. That's fine. I'm going to go back to North Dakota. And so the episode ends with him being like, no, I'm done. I'm going to go to North Dakota. I'm going to go be a father to this kid. And him shutting the light off at the bar. And then the gang blowing up Dennis's car. But you end on that cliffhanger of season 12. And there's kind of this thought, at least when I watched it, I had this thought of like, oh, is Glenn bowing out of the show? Is he writing himself out? And is the show, which we'll get into a little bit later, finally giving one of the characters a moment of character growth? Mm-hmm. Right? So it's a pivotal scene. And then immediately season 13, this season, like the first episode of the season is like, nah, he didn't do any of that shit. He's still here. Okay. Right?
So not even he came back.
He did go.
Oh, okay.
He did go to North Dakota, but yeah, he's back by the first episode. Okay. Yeah. Which is why I think it's so funny that literally at one point he's like, no, I did that because I left to go to North Dakota. And then Charlie is like, you went to North Dakota? Like they don't even believe him. But yeah, so Mac remembers it as him turning off the light and holding Dennis's hand and they're going to basically run away together is the implication. Yeah. And then Dee remembers it as she turned off the light, but Charlie remembers it as, well, he turned it back on. Yeah. And then they feed off each other and they're like, yeah, that's right. We did like a whole thing where we were turning it off and on and we were going,
which is so like 9-year-old humor. Like not even 13-year-old.
No.
Like 9-year-old
Very
humor.
Childish.
Okay.
Yes. And so Dennis is like, no, let's relive this memory again so we get it right. We can't change it. So they go through the memory again. He's going to turn off the light. And as he goes to turn off the light, Dee and Charlie rush forward. Dee turns off the light. Charlie turns it back on, and they start doing the thing. And Dennis is like getting into it too. And then he immediately cuts them off and he goes, God damn it! You're infecting your memory into my own memory, and I can't even remember my own life anymore.
Yeah, I wrote that line down. I liked it. You're infecting my memory with your memory, and I can't remember my own life correctly.
Yes. And so they're like, okay, we need to reset. Let's remember something that we all know for sure happened. Cut to Charlie being like, let's talk about the Nightman Cometh. It's a whole fantastic episode, by the way. But it's a scene of them doing a play, and Charlie is speaking rapid, like, Mandarin at them as he's, like, instructing them, and there's subtitles in English of what he's saying. And they immediately pull out of that, and they go, what the fuck, Charlie? Why are you speaking a different language? That's not how it happened. And Charlie's like, oh, that's right. I'm remembering the time they gave me a magic pill, and I could speak Mandarin, or I could speak Chinese. And they're like, no, that's not what happened. Which is an episode where that kind of happens.
But not that episode.
Not that episode.
Okay. So they're just mixing episodes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're starting to mix different memories together.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's Dennis is like, nope, we're getting way off track. What is happening?
Yeah.
And then Mac is like, that's it. Let's remember all the times people didn't know what was going on. And then we just get a whole montage of people saying, what is happening?
Yeah.
Yes.
So those were all real clips.
Yes.
Okay.
Those ones were.
This is where I was getting to the point where I was like, okay, what is an actual previous clip from the show and what is stuff that they're making up? Mm-hmm. I do think it becomes fairly obvious once they start making stuff up.
Yeah.
But this like transition phase that we're in before they start getting into the real crazy shit was I was trying to like keep up.
Yeah. And I feel like this scene is the midpoint of the episode.
Yeah.
It's right before the commercial break, and it's just a perfect segue, because I feel like at this point the audience too is like, the fuck is going on?
What's happening? Yeah.
This isn't a clip show anymore. What's happening?
Yeah.
And then they do that whole montage of like, that's kind of the point. You're supposed to be confused.
Yeah.
Roll with it. Come back from commercial break. And they decide, they're like, oh, reliving memories is so much fun. We're having such a good time. And Dee is like, I remember one, the contest. Do you want to talk about this scene?
So this is the Seinfeld reference? Okay. I actually was really confused about what was happening. I mean, I understood that it was a Seinfeld reference, but is this pulling from an actual Seinfeld episode?
Yes, and an actual scene in the episode.
And like they're just acting it out? Mm-hmm. Okay, because I was the dialogue to me was very confusing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Seinfeld episode, The Contest, which you get context of later in the show, is a contest to see who can go the longest without masturbating.
Yeah.
And it's all the characters of Seinfeld together are going to do this. They have a pot, and, as people lose, they have to pay money, right? So Julia Richard-Dreyfuss's character, whose name I cannot remember.
Oh, God.
I know her, 'cause she's great.
Yeah, Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Is that it?
We better look this up before we look like fools.
Are you on it? I'm just trying to get my phone unlocked. Oh, Julia Louis? Louis? Elaine. I'm bad at names. Don't ever like come at me for that, please. Right. So Elaine, who's played by Dee in our Always Sunny episode, comes in and she's like, all right, which one of you owes me money? Because she's assumed that one of them's caved, right? Yeah. And she's like, I got this in the bag. Like, I'm going to win this. And George Costanza, who's going to be played by Frank in Always Sunny, and Jerry Seinfeld, who is played by both Rob and Mac.
Okay. That's where I was like, what's going on? Because they're wearing the same outfit. And I was like, for either one of them, I was like, which is one of you doing Jerry Seinfeld right now?
They both are.
Okay, great. So, okay, got it.
I saw a fun thing on one of the subreddits that was like, my headcanon is they got in an argument of who could play Jerry and they couldn't decide, so they just both did it.
Sure.
And I like that headcanon. Either way, I think it's hilarious.
It's funny
that they're both just playing Jerry. So Jerry and George are at the window, just engrossed in something. Elaine is like, well, what are you doing? And they're like, there's a naked woman across the street. And she's just like, this is going to be so easy.
And she starts spewing off some really ridiculous lines, trying to get their attention and just seeing how distracted they are, basically.
Yeah.
And then we have Kramer, who's played by Charlie.
Yeah.
Burst into the apartment, do his weird little walk, slam money on the counter, and just go, I'm out.
Okay.
Smell the milk, do a weird thing, right?
Yeah.
And then we're back in the bar in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
there's a laugh track.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There is the laugh track throughout the episode, too. Because, well, in the Seinfeld universe episode.
The Seinfeld episode.
Yes.
Quote unquote.
And they're all laughing about that, how it was so funny and it's such a good memory. And Dennis is like, yeah, that is funny. Except it wasn't us.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? And he's like, when did we live in New York City? They're like, oh, in the
90s?
When we were in high school. Who were the people laughing? Well, the fans. Yeah, the fans.
Yeah. I wrote, lol, just completely deconstructing the sitcom format.
Exactly. Yep. And we're going to come back to that.
Yep. Oh, I also wrote a note here that you may not like. But I wrote, I hate to say it, Camps, but WandaVision continues to haunt the narrative.
Just what? Meta sitcom?
Yeah. And like commenting on sitcom tropes.
Yeah, you got me there. You know what? This is actually kind of a perfect follow-up to the end of WandaVision.
It's on theme.
Yeah. Just meta sitcoms all the way down.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dennis points out that they did have their own contest after watching that episode, except they had the opposite version of the contest, which was to see who could masturbate the most in 24 hours.
Okay.
And that got them landed in the hospital.
Yes.
This is not anything that actually has happened in the show that we've seen.
Okay. I figured this was the turning point.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it's a scene of them in the hospital and the doctor explaining the skin is all but removed from the organ. And then Dee is like, am I vagina, doctor? It's all but obliterated. Which Dennis pulls him out of that fantasy as well. And he goes, guys, that's not even a real doctor. That was a figment of my imagination from when we were stuck in the convenience store. Which is an episode where each member of the gang, the convenience store is getting held up. And they each have their own fantasy of how they would save the convenience store. And so in Dennis's fantasy, he gets shot. And like, that's the doctor in the hospital that treats him. So it is literally a figment of Dennis's imagination that I assumed why would you tell the gang this was the fantasy I had?
Yeah.
So it's already starting to get really weird with like who knows what and how. So again, just more devolving.
Gotcha.
And Dennis is now starting to get really upset because they're altering reality.
Yeah.
And he starts making this argument that if you change the way you remember things, you're changing reality. Which Charlie takes very literally as I can change reality. And Dennis is like, no, reality is reality, but you're changing the way that like, and he's like not able to get through to Charlie at all.
No. Charlie wants to be Wanda Maximoff.
Oh my God. Yes, he does. And for a moment, he kind of is.
It's really just, it's right there. I can't not say anything about it.
Fuck, you're right.
Yeah. I know.
Well, do you want to talk about the scene? Damn, you're right.
Okay. I didn't write down the whole scene. But okay, so this is where so now in this memory, he's the one who has the child and instead of Dennis, is that what's happening?
No.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, so I'll walk through it.
Okay.
So yeah, it's Charlie at the bar with a toothbrush scrubbing a rat trap for some reason. Unclear.
I don't even remember that.
And the waitress walks in.
Yeah.
So I did prompt you a little bit on this.
Right.
Charlie has been stalking the waitress since high school, basically.
Uh-huh.
Always wanted to get with her. And then in season 12, they finally hook up.
Yeah. And she doesn't have a name.
I mean, she does. We don't know it.
Okay.
No one knows it.
Okay.
She's just called the waitress throughout the entire show. But yeah, she walks into the bar and she goes, Charlie, about the other night. Or like, we need to talk about the other night.
Yeah.
Charlie's like, what night? There's plenty of nights. She's like, the night we had sex. Oh yeah, that was a good night. She goes, well, I'm pregnant. And he's like, by me? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And so yeah, that's Charlie's fantasy.
is his night with the waitress got her pregnant. And then something extra meta happens in this fantasy, which the bar door opens up.
Yeah.
And it's another Charlie watching the scene.
Yeah.
And then they pull out of this scene and we're back
in the bar.
In reality.
Right.
Yeah.
It's starting to get muddled.
And Dennis is like, you're just making stuff up now.
Yeah.
This is not how it works. You're just going through a fantasy. And then they're like, watching yourself like the ghost of Christmas past? Like, what is that?
Yeah.
I love Charlie's line of, well, that's just how everyone remembers stuff. They're like, no!
No, incorrect.
And then the bar door opens and the waitress walks in with a baby. And Charlie is just like, holy shit, I did it. It works. Yeah.
He manifested it.
Wanda.
Yep.
Manifested a baby. Charlie is excited because the love of his life is there with a child.
Uh-huh.
And then another Charlie walks into the bar.
Yeah.
And the waitress and the other Charlie start arguing. And then our Charlie, this is where it gets real confusing.
This is where it gets crazy.
Our Charlie goes up to the other Charlie and yells, hey man, that's my girl. That's my baby. You gotta go. Waitress is like, oh fuck, there's two of you. I don't care. I'm gonna go get drunk. Take the baby.
Yeah.
And these two Charlies start having an argument. One of them points out, your voice is like super high.
Yep.
And then they just start getting an argument about whose voice is higher.
Yeah. It is. He does go impressively high, I would say.
And it's like somewhat forced, but also kind of makes sense for the character.
Okay.
And I just love Dee's reaction is, oh God, it's hearing itself.
Yes! I wrote that down. I love that line. Oh God, it's hearing itself, specifically it's. That was funny.
Yeah. So yeah, while they're arguing though, the other Charlie is basically like, fine, you want this? I don't want this. I would love to get lost. I want to move back in with Frank. And that's where they're like, hold up, what is going on? And we look to Frank, and Frank suddenly has a full head of hair.
Yeah.
And he's playing with it and like twirling it.
Yeah.
And then, Frank, why do you have hair? Well, I've always had hair. Like, no, you didn't. And it's like, you are making this up because you want Charlie to move back in with you. Frank is like, no, Charlie's already back with me. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then they point out, well then, Frank, why are your legs so long? And then the camera cuts out.
This is the kind of physical comedy I like. If you could call it physical comedy.
How would you describe his legs?
Too long.
Spider-like.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Long Arms David Tennant.
Oh my God! Except in the legs.
Yeah, except it's legs.
I love that. Yes, his legs are ridiculously long. And his torso is still just as short, so it's...
And it's that camera gag I love of just like pan out to reveal something. So yeah, that was good.
That's good. But the gig is up. Frank is the one that's creating this new fantasy.
Right.
And so he snaps them out of it and brings them back to reality. And I don't know who says it, but one of them says, we can't even sit around having memories without things getting out of hand. Because that is the show. Every episode always gets out of hand.
Something gets out of hand.
I mean, it's a sitcom. That's what it's supposed to do.
Sure.
But even in a clip show episode, they managed to make things get out of hand.
Yeah.
Again, playing on classic TV tropes and subverting them, which we'll talk about more. But yeah, the software update is almost done anyway, so they can stop going through this rigmarole, basically. And then Dennis notices that the very gory cut on Dee's head is gone.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Which is, I would have not noticed.
Right? That would have gone, it went over my head till he pointed it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're still in someone's memory.
Yeah.
They are not in reality.
And it's getting very Inception at this point. It's about to get even more Inception. Yes. But yeah.
So yeah, Dennis is trying to figure out whose reality they're in, because they need to snap out of it and be back in the real reality. And I love how he goes around the circle. He goes, Frank, are you tall and handsome with a whole head of hair? Frank is just like, I like to think so, but no. Charlie, is the waitress in love with you? Oh, I had her for a minute. Dee, are you a successful actress? I could have been. Dee, stop shitting around and be honest. No. Mac, are you my roommate? Of course not. That's it. Because Mac and Dennis are roommates. They've always been roommates. What do you mean they're not roommates? Right? And then, well, Mac points out he would want to be roommates with Dennis. So this can't be his fantasy because he's in love with Dennis.
Okay.
That's the subtext. But so that, you know, they piece it together like, okay, well, who's the most annoying person in the world that everybody hates? It's obviously Mac. So this has to be Dennis's fantasy because he's trying to get rid of Mac.
Yeah.
Which Dennis is like, God damn it. Yeah, I was trying to get rid of Mac.
Yeah. There's like a, they do a cut that just like indicates like, oh, now we're out of that.
Yeah.
You know, quote unquote reality.
Mm-hmm. Dee's slash is back on her head.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's like a couple times where they do these like just quick little cuts that indicate, oh, we've snapped back out of it.
It's well done. Like how it's shot and produced. Yeah. Considering how much flip-flopping they're doing around.
Yeah. There's another one that because we're about to do this again. There's another one later that's even more like prominent, I would say.
Oh.
A cut that they do. Maybe it's this one. Do we have a reality that's Max? Is that coming up? Or did we do it already?
We must have done it already.
Okay, maybe I wrote this note before, whatever. I just wrote a note at one point, like, cut, music, change camera angle, oh, look, it's reality.
Oh, okay.
Like, they do, I noticed at that particular one, also the music dropped, and they changed the angle.
Oh.
And then, and it was like, it became, the angle switched from looking at the bar, like looking at Dennis at the bar, to like a side angle looking at everybody, and like pulled out a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't pick up on it. I was very rushed trying to put this episode together, so I missed some of that stuff. I'm glad you caught that.
Well, and it's like the quickest, most efficient way to be like, okay, we're in a quote unquote new reality without really even doing anything.
Yeah. And it's effective.
And again, low budget show, right? Mm-hmm. Like just switch the camera, cut the music, boom.
Yeah. I'm totally glad you caught. I'm going to have to pay attention to that now when I go back and watch. The only episode I've ever really paid attention to production and how it was shot is the other episode I proposed.
Okay.
Which is the Charlie Work episode. That's a oneer, kind of.
Right.
It's got hidden cuts. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to point out so back in reality, right? Mac's upset because Dennis doesn't want to live with him.
Yeah.
And I love Dennis's sarcastic reply, and I'm curious if you caught it, and I'm curious to your thoughts. He says, yeah, man, I love having a roommate who spends 3 hours a day on a dildo bike.
I did hear that, and then I was like, oh, okay.
Real or fake, the dildo bike? Part of the fantasy or part of the show?
Well, there's lots of jokes that imply that he's gay, but we never.
He is out. Oh, is he out? Or is this the season he comes out? Oh, I gotta check.
It depends on if he's out or not, basically.
No, he has to be out at this point if the dildo bike is involved. Shit. Okay, so I gave it away. We'll talk about how Mac comes out.
Okay.
But yes, the dildo bike is real. We'll talk about that.
Do I want to know?
Too bad you're gonna. But Dennis is very upset at this point because they need to be sure they are back in reality.
Yes.
Mac is like, why does it matter? Like, I think he points out at one point when they're back in the other reality, what does it matter? What if the only difference is Dee doesn't have a cut on her head? Like, and Dennis is very upset. He's like, no, we have to. Otherwise, we're going to spend the rest of our lives wondering.
Right.
We're in a clip show, by the way.
Yeah.
So Dennis has a solution. He has a top. And he's like, haven't you guys seen Inception?
Mm-hmm.
Cue Inception noise. So Dennis pulls out a top from behind the bar, and they're going to spin the top to see if they're in reality or not.
Yes.
So he spins it, and they're all watching this top. And
The quality top
is really going. Yeah, you gave it quite a spin.
Yeah.
They're just, God damn it. This is what I mean.
Are they coming this way?
That's the fire. That has to be fire. Nope, that's the ambulance.
I'm starting to understand why your rent's so cheap. I'm getting the full context now.
It's really not that bad. You get kind of noise blind to it, you know, except for the ambulance. I completely forgot where I was.
Quality top.
They're all watching it. Gave it a good spin there.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're watching this top, waiting to see if it's going to fall or not. And then all their phones ding. And they go, oh, thank God we're back to normal. And they all just start playing on their phones, ignoring each other. Cue the bar door opening and a second Charlie watching everybody.
Yep.
And then we get the final shot of the episode as the credits roll, which is just the top spinning on the bar counter. Very clear reference to the end of Inception.
Right. And not falling.
Yes.
Fade to black. Or cut to black.
Cut to back. Episode.
That's it.
That's the clip show episode.
So I'm assuming that this is never brought up again.
Nope.
I mean, and that's the only way you can do it in a show like this.
Yeah. Like, it's the sitcom. I mean, that's part of the sitcom trope is stuff happens and never gets brought up again.
Sure.
So yeah.
We did it.
Scene. Let's talk about some other stuff.
Sure.
So I pointed this out when we did our intro not last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But Always Sunny is effectively an anti-sitcom.
Yeah.
And the first time I came across this term was from a Wisecrack YouTube video.
Okay.
Go check them out if you haven't. This video came out at the end of season 12. So before this season that we just watched the episode from. So this episode came out right after Dennis said, basically, I'm going to grow up and be a man and go be a father. Right? Just to give you that little added context. So I'm going to crib a lot from this video just because I think it brings up a lot of good points. So what does it mean to be an anti-sitcom?
Do tell.
It effectively means let's take all the tropes and everything we've ever known about sitcoms and completely subvert it and flip it on its head.
Sure.
So the most basic is, you know, most sitcoms, you have satisfying and sentimental narratives. You have characters that are flawed but likable and you root for. And throughout the show, these characters slowly grow and change, and sure, they get into their hijinks, but by the end of the show, they're a different person. They're a better version of themselves, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, think of How I Met Your Mother. You have Barney, who's this chauvinist and just hooks up with women. And by the end, he's a single father who, like, deeply cares about his child and shames women for being dressed like sluts, right? Or my favorite example is Rachel from Friends, how she goes from this entitled rich kid who can't even be a coffee waitress to being at like the top of the fashion industry by the end of the show. So you have these characters who are at their hearts good, though flawed, that you root for. Always Sunny kind of takes that concept and goes, nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
What if we had a bunch of narcissistic sociopaths who were bankrolled by a millionaire and could just do whatever the fuck they wanted? So like that's one way that the show is already immediately subverting concepts of sitcoms. And then there's a lot of other little things that they do throughout the show. So I think like one thing that I want to point out is like consequences. And the idea of consequences in sitcoms, because in so many of them, animated or live action, the hijinks that the characters get up to, nothing ever happens.
Yeah.
Really? Right? There's never a consequence to the action. And in Always Sunny, they really take that to the extreme.
Yeah.
And these characters commit so many crimes throughout the whole show. And the few times people try to hold them accountable, they give up because their life gets worse trying to fight off the gang.
Sure.
And so like the show does kind of point out the absurdity of the fact that in these shows, characters just get away with stuff that you never could in real life.
Yeah.
It just takes it to the next extreme because they're actually breaking laws consistently.
Okay.
So I think going back to characters, well, okay, I can't help myself from talking about this one now. I was going to say that, but I love this. Every character that encounters the gang ends up worse.
Okay.
Which I feel like, I don't know if it's a sitcom trope, but, you know, reoccurring characters in the sitcoms, I guess, don't really change much. They're just always kind of there, right?
Sure.
And they just play their stereotypical role, the nosy neighbor.
I was going to say, you mean reoccurring characters outside of, like, our main characters.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. And they're not there to change. They're not there to push the episode. They're just there to be another prop for the main cast, right? In Always Sunny, every single character that encounters the gang ends up worse. It's a guarantee. I don't think there's a single character other than Carmen who gets away better for having encountered the gang.
Okay.
So there's Rickety Cricket, who was
okay, good name. I'll give it that.
He was a priest and still had feelings for Dee, and she manipulated him to try and get him to bless a stain at the bar that they thought looked like the Virgin Mary. So he leaves the cloth to be with Dee, and then she tells him that she doesn't actually have feelings for him.
Holy shit.
And he can't go back to the priesthood because that's not how these things work. And he ends up becoming homeless. And then, oh God, the whole series of events that happens to this man. He becomes homeless. He gets addicted to drugs. He gets blamed by them for like stealing the mob's cocaine. So then the mob breaks his legs. They make him be a part of a wrestling match, and they lacerate his neck with a garbage can that gets infected. So then that becomes like this gross, gory feature that dogs try to fuck, I guess, on the street. They hunt him at one point because they think that would be funny. He gets set on fire by the gang, and so then half of his face is just horrible burns.
Oh my God.
I think he goes blind in one eye. He's consistently getting high on PCP in their bathroom. Like, the trajectory of this man, every time he's in an episode, you're like, oh fuck. Yeah. It's gonna get worse for him.
Yeah.
Guarantee.
And this is supposed to be funny?
I think it's hilarious.
Okay.
Then there's Bill Ponderosa, who's an old flame of Dee's that she had a crush on in high school. And she hooks up with him, even though he's married. So he ends up getting divorced. He becomes a raging alcoholic, as well as very addicted to drugs. His son becomes his cocaine dealer. At one point, Frank is his AA sponsor, and Frank encourages him to follow through with his plan of drinking himself to death, which Dee then suggests they take out a life insurance policy since he's going to do it anyway. So that's Bill.
Wow.
And then Bill's sister, Maureen, marries Dennis very briefly. And they get divorced. So she gets this huge settlement and like alimony from him.
Really?
Yes, because she didn't even hire a proper lawyer. She got a lawyer that hates the gang.
Okay.
And the gang's lawyer was Charlie's pedophilic uncle.
Gross.
Who isn't really a lawyer at all. So, yeah, Dennis has to pay a shit ton of alimony to Maureen. And Maureen slowly transforms herself into a cat and just gets so much plastic surgery done to look like a cat and starts referring to herself as a cat. And there's this whole episode that's mocking Making a Murderer and like other true crime shows because she mysteriously dies and they're trying to blame Dennis for killing her.
Oh my God.
And in reality, she was just pretending to be a cat on a roof and fell off the roof. So she ends up tragically worse. And then, yeah, even the lawyer seems to be the only character who is getting one over on the gang consistently.
Okay.
Until an episode where a bird attacks him and gouges his eye out. So,
but
yeah.
Okay. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to know.
Guillermo del Toro is in that episode.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of great cameos in the show.
Huh.
Yeah, he's the one with the bird on his head, for the listeners who are wondering. It's the bird that attacks the lawyer.
Sure.
So yeah, no character in the show goes unscathed. All the side characters do change, but they change for the worse.
Okay.
Because of the gang. Let's see. Well, even Frank. I forgot to mention Frank. When Frank comes into the show, literally he starts the episode with, I want to give all my money away to charity. By the end of the episode, he's pretending to be a quadriplegic so he can hook up with strippers. So yeah, no one's safe. They're all worse for it. And I think too that plays against the trope of sometimes sitcoms can feel like an after-school special.
Yeah.
Because a lot of sitcoms episodes have some kind of moral lesson built into them, right? And it can get a little sappy. And when it comes to Always Sunny, they are so opposed to any kind of moral lesson. And anytime the gang tries to engage with morality, it's always for their own benefit. So for example,
so therefore not morality.
Exactly. For example, they find a baby in the dumpster and they decide that they're going to take this baby in. They don't want to put it in the foster system because the foster system's horrible and it's going to fuck the kid up. So we're going to take this baby in and give it a good life. And then they immediately decide,
we need to get this baby on television so we can make money off of it. White babies aren't going right now. So they bring it to a tanning booth to try and make him look Mexican. And the tanning booth is obviously like, we're not going to tan a baby. So then they start painting him when, thank God, social services comes.
Okay.
And takes the baby away. There's another episode too where Mac, who's very Catholic, goes on this crusade of anti-abortion. And he hooks up with a pro-life woman. And then she's like, I'm pregnant. And he's immediately like, you need an abortion.
Yeah.
So there's no morality and there's no moral lesson to be learned in any of these episodes, which you would typically find at least in some sitcom episodes in most shows, right? And then finally, the sitcom Will They, Won't They, which is present in every single sitcom, basically. Maybe not WandaVision. Although is WandaVision a sitcom?
Who's the Will They, Won't They in WandaVision?
That's the thing. I don't think WandaVision does have a Will They, Won't They. I think that might be an exception.
Sure.
But think about shows like Psych, Sean and Juliet.
Is Psych isn't a sitcom, though.
No, but I would still throw it out there as some kind of comedy.
Okay.
How I Met Your Mother, Ted and Robin.
Yeah.
Friends, Rachel and Ross.
Yeah.
You know.
New Girl.
Does New Girl have a Will They, Won't They?
New Girl has one, yeah.
Yeah. So many of these do. And Always Sunny really shows how fucked up that can be with Charlie and the Waitress.
Okay.
Which is Charlie is obsessed with the waitress. It's not a Will They, Won't They situation.
Right.
He thinks it is.
Okay.
He's just stalking her.
Yeah.
Except he does get with her. So it does become a Will They, Won't They. Except they then flip that on its head because instead of it being this wonderful, rewarding moment that's sentimental, as soon as they're done having sex, he is immediately annoyed with her and finds her to be the most annoying, obnoxious person in the world and just can't wait to get rid of her. And then just for fun, let's talk about the other gang's the other gang members' romantic entanglements. Frank consistently hooks up with strippers and whores, as he would say. And he does have an on-again, off-again fling with Artemis, one of the side characters. Ooh. Mac is most of the show trying to defend his masculine heteronormativity.
Right.
So he doesn't really hook up with women, but he pretends he wants to. Dennis is just a psychopath, truly, and manipulates as many women as he can to sleep with them and then secretly films them. It is depicted as very, very creepy and weird.
I hope so.
Yes. D is just a series of very tragic hookups, which there is an episode where she's pregnant and she's having a baby and they don't know who the father is, so they bring in every single man she's hooked up with into the hospital to wait for her. She comes out with the baby. I think, that's the characters. So
none of them are hooking up with each other. I guess, it's 4 dudes and a girl.
And Charlie do hook up and then immediately regret it and never want to talk about it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's the trope. The trope is within the main character friend group.
Right.
There's a
tension somewhere.
Yeah.
I think the closest that gets is Mac clearly has a crush on Dennis.
Right.
And is obsessed with Dennis. And Dennis is clearly aware of it and very annoyed by it.
Yeah.
But that's probably as close as it comes to flirting with that trope. But yeah, otherwise for the most part, it's just a rejection of that trope altogether. So yeah, in a lot of ways, and there's so many more examples I could list, but basically every episode of Always Sunny is some kind of pushback to sitcom standards. And not just sitcom standards either, just any kind of comedy in general. So good example, this was around the time that Ghostbusters came out with the all-female cast, and everybody hated it and it bombed.
I kind of liked it.
I never saw it.
It was fun.
I saw the trailer and I was irked.
Yeah. It wasn't great, but
it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was just mid.
It was fine.
They have this, so there's a episode of Always Sunny where the gang tries to imitate Boggs, where there was this story, this mythological story basically, of a baseball player who on a flight from Philly to LA drank 48 beers and then the next day hit a home run at the baseball game.
Okay.
So they're going to try to drink as much as him and then go to a baseball field and hit a ball. And so it's the whole episode where the gang does it. Season 13, the gang does Wade Boggs, but female style. And so it's Dee and all of her female friends on the plane trying to do it. And Artemis is upset. She's like, we can't just do something because the guys did it. Like, we have to step our game up. We can't just replay the same stuff that the men have done.
Yeah.
We're women. We got to do something different. And so by the end of the episode, Artemis basically drugs everybody on the plane with ayahuasca. So everyone is vomiting and shitting themselves. And Artemis is like, the ultimate comedy, gross out humor, and then starts throwing up herself. Which I didn't see Ghostbusters, but I did see some gross out humor in the trailer.
That reads actually as Bridesmaids to me.
Oh, Bridesmaids too? Yeah, I forgot about that because there's a whole scene where they shit themselves, isn't there?
Yeah, in the street.
Yeah.
They eat bad Mexican food, I think. And she, I forget, who is it? Maya Rudolph is the one who's getting married and has the dress on. And she has like in her whole dress and she has to take a shit in the middle of the street.
Oh, see, I've never seen Brett. I saw the first 10 minutes and I hated it.
I didn't really like it either. So
yeah, but it is a commentary on how like there's such an over reliance on some of that gross out humor. Like especially with women, for some reason it's supposed to be funnier because it's women doing gross out humor, and the show is just kind of like, nah, it's just kind of
gross.
It's just gross. But it's still funny. I don't know. There's so many things that the show does to just make fun of sitcoms and
I feel the same way about the physical comedy, like the crashing the car into the wall thing. I feel like that's the same. They're trying to do the same commentary, but they're also participating
exactly
in the brand of humor.
It's both.
Yeah.
They're making a comment on it while also endorsing it in a weird way.
Right. So then I'm like, can you have your cake and eat it too, though?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. There are times I think the show fails at that. I think Dee's racist depictions of Mexican people and Taiwanese people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that's out of the show.
It's like you can say like, oh, we're making fun of it, but you're still doing it.
But same token, and maybe this is controversial, so I might get crucified for this. There's episodes where they do parodies of Lethal Weapon. And so one of them does blackface to do Danny Glover's character. And then halfway through it, they switch who's doing the blackface. And then Frank is playing an Indian man, I guess. So he does red face. So like, it's kind of bad, but it's also really fucking funny. And like, there's even an episode where they try to redo it, but it's told from a black man's perspective about how fucked up it is.
Okay.
And it becomes this meta commentary on how these white people and like are just doing stupid shit, and then the white people are trying to correct their own sins by doing white savior shit.
Yeah.
And so like in a weird way it like comes circle.
Around. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. It definitely toes the line and crosses the line.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that I think over time it grows on you. Once you learn to accept these are supposed to be very shitty people and I am supposed to laugh at them, not with them.
Sure.
Yeah. Which I think is also a flip to sitcom tropes. You're supposed to laugh with the characters.
Right. And then usually whatever like the mishap is, it's fixed.
Right.
By the end of the episode. So then it gives you that closure.
Yeah. Where with the gang, yeah, sure, they get the closure because they never face consequences.
Sure.
But all the other characters do.
Yeah.
And so finally, I want to talk about the last point that the Wisecrack video made, which is Dennis leaving the bar and choosing to go to North Dakota is a direct homage to Sam Malone in Cheers, closing the bar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting because, yeah, like I said, the Wisecrack video came out at the end of season 12. And so his whole thing was like, yeah, I doubt Dennis is actually going to go to North Dakota.
Right.
Based on like this whole track record of the show.
Based on 12 seasons of content.
Yeah. So it is funny to me. I'm like, damn, he called it. He read it.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, by the first episode, Dennis is back and he's like, nah, fuck that shit. I don't want to be a dad. It was boring. So these characters, the moment they show a sign of starting to grow and change, they immediately retract back into these old habits, which I think too, oh God, I forgot a whole point. Characters not changing and not aging. In so many of these sitcoms, like they change a little bit, but it's so slow. and they don't seem to really age. They don't seem to like get fat or anything.
Yeah.
They're just kind of stuck in that sliver of time.
Sure.
For 8 seasons or 9 seasons.
Or like the time factor is not just mentioned.
No.
It's not like a focus.
Exactly.
It could be any time period.
Exactly. And Always Sunny kind of points out how fucked up this can be in a sitcom if you actually place it in reality.
Okay.
So like there's a whole episode called The Gang Misses a Boat where they literally miss a party boat, and then they spend the rest of the episode reflecting on like how far behind they are from their peers.
Oh wow.
And like they're not serious people. So yeah, like they literally point out several times throughout the show like how ridiculous it is that these people are now in their 40s and they're still getting into these hijinks.
Okay.
Yeah. I think at one point too, Mac is like, we're not going to be 20 forever, Dennis. Dennis is like, yes, I am. Because the more I age, the more vigilant I become.
I was going to say, how old were they when they started?
God, in their young 20s. In their 20s.
Okay.
Yeah. They're in their 40s now.
Right.
And it's been running for almost 20 years.
So.
It has been running for 20 years.
They're like 25, 24, 25.
Yeah.
All of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Danny DeVito.
Well, yeah, obviously. Yeah.
So, with that note, let's transition into some other fun things about the show. So, speaking of characters not aging or changing in any kind of way, Mac gains like 60 pounds in between seasons.
In between seasons?
Yep. So, one season ends and he's just normal looking Mac, and the next season starts and he's suddenly super fat.
Okay.
And
like in between every season.
Just this one season.
Oh, okay.
Yep. He suddenly gets very fat.
That's why I was confused.
And so apparently Rob, the creator of the show, Rob, not the character in this instance, thought it would be hilarious if for one season they all gained a bunch of weight, never brought it up, and then the next season they were all back to normal weight.
Sure.
And no one else wanted to do it.
I bet. Yeah. I mean, that's your health.
Yeah. But Rob still thought it was funny.
Commit to the bit.
So he committed to the bit. And he gained a ton of weight.
Oh, man.
And there is an impetus for this. They were trying to find body doubles for the bar, and Mac found this like model bodybuilder type guy and was like, that's me. And he was like, you look nothing like him. Like, you're not even in his weight class. And so Mac just got super fat to try to like match this guy.
Okay.
Because he's a dumbass.
Do you know like how he put on the weight? Did he just eat a bunch of garbage?
I don't know.
I'm so curious.
Yeah, I have no. I'm assuming he just ate a ton of garbage.
Yeah, because I find that interesting for other, like, you know, there are some actors that do that for, you know, movie roles or whatever.
Christian Bale did it for the Dick Cheney movie Vice.
Yeah, and then like you got to put in all the work to get back to your like normal body weight. Crazy.
Speaking of, the next season after that, Rob McElhenney is suddenly, or no, I don't even know if it's the next season after that. Maybe a few seasons later, he's suddenly shredded. Absolutely
committed,
ripped
to the bit.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I no exaggeration, he got absolutely shredded.
Wow.
Which I have a great quote. This was on his Instagram where he said, look, it's not hard. All you need to do is lift weights 6 days a week, stop drinking alcohol, don't eat anything after 7, don't eat any carbs or sugar at all. In fact, just don't eat anything you like. Get a personal trainer from Magic Mike, sleep 9 hours a night, run 3 miles a day, and have a studio pay for the whole thing over 6 to 7 month span. I don't know why everyone's not doing this. It's super realistic lifestyle and an appropriate body image to compare oneself to.
Absolutely.
Roasted. But yeah, so I think season 13 is actually where he shows up just ripped and shredded.
Crazy.
Yeah.
At 42 or whatever.
Yeah.
Even more impressive.
But what I love about that too is, he literally got the studio to pay for all of that. Wow. So that he could, like, and which is why I'm like, they definitely pushed the boundaries. He was definitely like, I just want to get in shape. Maybe I can write this into the show and FX will pay for it.
Yeah. Props if that's the case.
I can totally see that happening. Okay, other random things. Danny DeVito, where did he come from?
Yeah, good question. I would love to know the answer to that question.
Yeah. So season 1 of Always Sunny was just the core cast, right?
Yeah.
And then some of our other little fun side characters that show up. So season 2, FX is trying to decide if they want to renew or not. And they approach Rob and they say, hey man, look, we want to renew, but we need a big star name to slap on the show to get more attention to it.
Yep. Okay.
We need to get a big star. And Rob was completely against it. He said, no, we're not doing that. And the studio said, great, you're not getting renewed.
Right.
So then he said, you know what? That sounds like a great idea. Let's bring in a big star. And they got Danny DeVito. And I honestly think it was one of the best things that happened to the show.
Do you know how they got Danny DeVito?
I don't know how.
Just offering him a paycheck?
I think he was aware of the show.
Okay.
When he was pitched the role.
Yeah.
And I think he loved it enough that he was on board with it. But yeah, the way that they write him into makes so much sense because they run a failing bar that's barely getting by, but they're getting into all these hijinks and they're never working. And so Frank's character becomes the justification for how they can bankroll all this stuff because he's a millionaire.
Oh, he's rich.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he can just pay for all the weird stuff they get into.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's written as Dennis and Dee's dad.
Right, okay.
Which I did mention the last time that he's not actually their dad because their mom had an affair with a man named Bruce.
Right.
And he might be Charlie's dad, but that's never confirmed.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because Charlie's mom was a whore.
Right.
And Frank slept with her quite a lot.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how Danny DeVito came in to the show.
And he just stuck around.
It's what I love too. He's been interviewed about it and he's said he will do the show until he dies or until it stops running.
He just has that much fun.
Yeah. It's that much of a good time.
Yeah.
And especially for him, he just devours the role. I think almost all of my favorite lines are from him.
Tracks. Can
I offer you an egg in this trying time? Anyway, I started blasting. Derivative. He's got so many good lines. I only got a few years left and I want to get real weird with it.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I like that one. That's Danny DeVito. Rob, one of the creators, the main creator, grew up as an Irish Catholic in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
I might mention. So there's a lot of references throughout the show to just obviously Philadelphia things. It's not just set there. The city is in a way a character.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate. It's in the
title. So
yeah. I appreciate it. I don't even know. How I Met Your Mother, is that set in New York?
I think so.
I think so. He's an architect, so you get some head nods to architecture, but that's kind of it.
Yeah, I haven't seen a ton of it.
Yeah. No, there's enough stuff in Always Sunny though where I feel like the city itself feels like part of the character. And the spirit of Philly being belligerent is part of the character of the show. Okay. So it feels well placed. But also the Catholic bit is something that I find deeply hilarious. So Mac and Charlie grew up being raised Catholic. The characters in the show grew up being raised Catholic. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of head nods to Catholicism and the weird stuff that happens within it.
True facts.
One of my favorite scenes, and I've sent this to my one friend who's Vietnamese, and I try to use this to explain Catholicism to people who don't have
not been indoctrinated.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it's a great scene where they're in church and they have to stand up and then they have to sit down and then they have to stand up and then they have to kneel. And at one point, Charlie gets so frustrated because he's like, are we supposed to stand? Are we supposed to stand? And he starts shaking the pew in front of him and they're like, calm down, Charlie. I laughed so hard because I relate to that.
Yeah.
So strongly. When the fuck am I supposed to kneel? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't go to church enough.
When am I supposed to stand up?
Yeah. And I love it too because I think in that scene, Mac is singing along to one of the church hymns. And it's one of my favorite church hymns, and he's very flat, and it's just so funny because he's taking it so seriously. So I do love all the little weird Catholic nods throughout it.
It's not hard to make fun of.
No, it's really not.
It really just lends itself.
Truly. So there's that. Let's talk about the different love affairs on set.
Oh, on set?
On set.
Whoa.
So Charlie Day and the waitress are married in real life.
No.
Yep. I don't know if they met on the show. I actually don't know their story at all. I just know that they're married.
That's crazy.
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
And then Caitlin Olsen met Rob when she auditioned.
How long have they been married?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But yeah, Caitlin Olsen met Rob when she auditioned for the part. And throughout season 1, she had a huge crush on him. By season 2, they were dating, but they didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
It was completely under wraps. I forget when they finally came public with it.
Like anybody.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they are married at this point, and they do have several children together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I think it's cute. It worked.
Yeah.
You know, it works for them. And I think that's hilarious and funny that they met on the show.
Yeah.
And that they're so antagonistic to each other.
And they both play garbage people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, let's see, what else? So those are the 2 big love affairs of the show. There's a great running gag of Dennis being a serial killer.
Oh, okay. Well, you did say he's a psychopath.
He is a psychopath, and it slowly escalates throughout the show, where he's clearly doesn't have emotions like other people do. Okay. He gets angry, and he has a lot of pride, but like he doesn't emotionally connect to anybody ever.
Interesting.
And like,
but he's in the friend group.
Yeah, and it just because he's God King and he needs people to worship him, and they're the only people that will actually give him the time of day. But yeah, throughout the show, there's like little hints that get dropped. So the high school reunion one, they go to his car to get something, and he opens up his trunk, and he has like duct tape and zip ties, and they're like, "Why do you have that?" And he's like, "They're my things. I like to bound, and I like to be bound." And he gets like super red in the face as he's like screaming this.
Bound and be bound.
Yeah, in one episode, his room, like his bedroom, is basically an escape room to like entrap women, which is disturbing. He does get their consent. There's like a whole video that plays where it's like, you being here is you giving your consent, and like you've already signed the paperwork.
I wish y'all could see my expression right now. I don't know what it's doing, but
it gets dark. And then there's an episode where him and Dee imagine what it would be like to be a serial killer, and so they stalk the waitress pretending that they're going to kill her. But then Dennis, like the way that Dennis talks is he's taking it seriously, and Dee is like, no, we're not actually gonna do this. Where are you going? What are you doing?
It's just a fun thought experiment.
Yes. And then the whole Maureen episode where they do the Making a Murderer spoof is him like, he definitely killed her and like all this stuff, which in the end he didn't. But so there's so many hints throughout the show where it's like just slowly building it up more and more, which again, flipping the sitcom tropes on their head, that's probably one of the only big character progressions we see.
Yeah, if you could call it that.
Yeah. And then before I get to my last personal headcanon, I do want to talk about Mac and LGBT.
Okay.
So Rob McElhaney, his mother is gay and his 2 brothers are gay. So he's always considered himself as, you know, within the LGBT community.
An ally.
Yeah. He is a strong ally, a strong supporter. The first season, the one character, they do use the T slur to refer to her. And you know, there's some offensive humor in that, but at the end of the day, the character herself, Carmen, is a very respectable character. She's never like the way that she herself is presented and the way that she herself acts is very respectable. And like I said, she's one of the only people too that doesn't get fucked over by the gang. She actually ends up donating her sperm to Dee to be a surrogate.
Okay.
So that when Dee's pregnant and has the baby, it's actually Carmen's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And like there's points later too where they're a lot more respectful about actual like using correct pronouns and stuff.
Yeah.
And honestly too, like, so that it's one of those things that kind of toes the line in season 1, but at the same time, I think the character herself is a well-written character and the other characters are just assholes, which is kind of the point.
Sure.
And then you have the progression of Mac as a closeted gay man.
Sure.
So Mac in the show is incredibly homophobic, which comes from his Catholic roots, and he uses the Bible a lot to be homophobic.
I figured.
Yeah. Part of why he's so into Carmen is because she still has a dick, and so it you know, kind of toes the line there. And I think there's an episode where Mac finally comes out as gay because they're all gonna die. They're literally on a sinking ship in a locked room that is flooding. And Mac finally is just like, I'm gay. And they're all like, finally, thank God, you're out. Like, it's about time. And then at the end of the episode, he goes, so I'm not gay. As soon as he realizes they're not going to die, right?
And so myself watching this, and I think some other fans of the show had a similar reaction, which was like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Just fucking commit to like having him out. Like, why do we have to have this character who's just going to be this homophobic piece of shit who's closeted? Like, right. It's an old trope in and of itself, is having like, and not even a trope, it's just kind of a stereotype too.
Yeah, after 12 seasons of that, yeah.
It starts to feel mean.
Yeah.
And it is a stereotype in real life that people who are extremely homophobic are closeted gay.
Sure.
Which is not true, and also kind of demeaning to the LGBT community.
Yeah.
And so what I love about what they did is we get the dildo bike episode. So there is a scratch ticket on the ground. A whole series of events ensue, and Frank uses the F slur to refer to Mac. And now they're having this debate about who gets the scratcher. And Mac thinks that he should get it because he's the one that picked it up, but Frank thinks that he should get it because he saved Mac's life. And like, it becomes this whole thing. And it all comes down to, well, Mac, if you're not gay, Frank using that slur isn't bigotry. It's not hateful because you're not. So are you gay? And we do get the dildo bike because Dennis wants to prove that Mac is gay. So he brings out the dildo bike, and it looks like a normal exercise bike. And then as soon as the pedals start going, something starts coming out of the seat up and down with the pedals. And they're all like, and I think Mac is even like, oh, I see where you're getting confused. No, that's not a dildo. And they go, oh, okay, what is it? And he goes, it's a fist. And the intention of the bike is that every time he tries to sit down, it punches him. So he's forced to stand back up and work out real hard. It's a dildo bike. But in order to get the scratcher, Mac has to claim that he's gay. So he's like, he jumps up. He's like, so he comes to that conclusion. He's like, so if I say I'm gay, I get the scratcher ticket. And she's like, yes. And he goes, I'm gay. Everyone knows it. Everyone's known it for a long time. I'm gay. We all know it. And so he gets the scratcher. And as soon as he does, the whole gang is like, all right, go back in the closet. And he goes, what? No, I'm out. I'm out now. Okay, bye. And then he leaves with his dildo bike. And that's how he actually comes out. So this is like, that's again, the show flirting with sentimentality. But the way that it's done is so ludicrous and like shameful and unashamed. I don't know. Shameless?
Unashamed. I think, yeah. Shameless.
Yes. And then the actual most sentimental episode of Always Sunny is within season 13. It's the last episode of the season. I cry like a baby.
Oh, no.
Every time I watch it.
Oh, my God.
Which is Mac trying to come out to his father.
Okay.
And also Mac just trying to find his place within the gay community. And it's a funny show. So they want Mac to dance on the pride parade that they have for Patty's Pub. They're like, we have to get the gay man to dance. And Mac throughout the episode is trying to explain to Frank why he feels so lost and confused and not proud of who he is. And he's like, I don't know where I fit. I just don't know where I fit. So like Frank takes him to BDSM dungeon and he's like, this is not me. And then he takes him to a drag club and he goes, Frank, what the hell are you doing? They come to the conclusion that Mac just needs to come out to his father. This is why he's not feeling proud. He needs to let his dad know.
Okay.
And he's trying to explain it to Frank. He's like, I feel like there's this storm inside of me and like I'm dancing with God and like this is happening and that is happening. And Frank's not getting it. So Frank brings him to the prison where his dad is because his dad's in jail.
Okay.
Mac's responsible for that partially. And is basically like, I told the warden that we're going to have some famous person perform. So I got all the prisoners out, including your dad. And you're going to do what you need to do to come out to your dad. And Mac comes up on stage, goes, Dad, I'm gay. And then does this dance performance. And there's no words in it. There's like rain that's falling. And it's this gorgeous dance performance with this other woman who's like God in it, like symbolically. And it's basically this depiction of him feeling rejected by God for who he is.
So it's actually like an emotional.
It's incredibly emotional.
Art form?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's very symbolic. It's very emotional. It's very intense. It's beautifully done. And Mac's dad gets up and walks away in the middle of the performance.
Sure.
But Danny DeVito, Frank, is sitting there with tears in his eyes and he says, I finally get it. And that's how the show ends, or the episode ends, the season ends, and I am just bawling like a baby the whole time.
So that's like the only emotional episode of the show.
Yeah. And as far as character growth,
that is the only character growth we see, and it's probably one of the most satisfying character arcs.
Sure.
Because they are such assholes the entire time. That when they have this one moment of redemption.
Yeah, I don't know if you can say that's satisfying or not.
It hits so deep. I think because the show is so ridiculous and so unserious, this one moment of sentimentality just stands out that much more. And I love it. And I think it's beautiful. So I think overall, the show really does do LGBT really well. It just takes a while to get there.
Sure.
Finally, my personal headcanon.
Oh.
So, Charlie, you're probably not going to love this as much as fans. Okay. Charlie's character is the dumb one, right?
Clearly.
He's illiterate. He huffs bleach and paint glue and spray paint and all sorts of stuff. And he's just very dumb. He like gets in all sorts of weird situations and right? Everyone knows this. My headcanon is that Charlie is actually the smartest of the group.
Okay.
In my headcanon, he is ahead of all of them on everything. He is very aware of what's going on, and he is just playing into it because he's making fun of them. And he is manipulating part of this and orchestrating part of it.
For what purpose?
For fun, because he thinks it's fun and he thinks it's funny.
Okay.
And if you watch the show through this lens, dear listener, if you are a fan of Always Sunny, just one watch through, pretend that Charlie is the smart one who is fooling everybody else, and it will change your viewing experience. I promise you.
Yeah, I bet.
It will escalate the hilarity, because to me, he's just pulling strings and like doing the weird shit because he has moments of genius. He really does. Like, The Nightman Cometh, for as ridiculous as it is incredibly well done for a dumb man. So, in my opinion, he is making fun of everybody else. And
does anyone else share this opinion?
No.
So this is a totally original campy take.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is my personal headcanon.
Oh.
Charlie plays dumb because he thinks it's funny. And
he's secretly making fun of everyone else.
Yeah, and he wants to see how far he can take it. That's my headcanon.
I feel like that's kind of the perspective of the show itself.
Yeah. Of like us as the
creators.
Or the creators?
The creators.
To the characters.
Yeah, like how far can we push this?
Yeah.
And making fun of all of these people.
Very far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
What's your episode rating?
Fuck. I didn't...
Gotcha.
Do you see? It's up there.
Okay.
It's just blank. You're right.
I'm so glad I remembered.
Give me a moment.
Can you believe?
I can't believe it. Talking about subverting tropes.
Right.
I want it to be relevant to both the show and the episodes. Which, I mean, it's a clip show episode, so I got a lot to pull from here. Do you have one?
Yeah. Do you want me to go?
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think.
I am going to give this episode 4 out of 5 parallel realities.
I do like that. Okay, hold on. I'm going to say 2 out of 2 Charlies. But that's not high enough.
Yeah.
No, I can't think of anything better than that.
1 out of 1. 2
out of 2 Charlies.
Oh, I got one.
Okay.
I got another one. 1 out of 1 Chekhov's dildo bike.
Do you like that? For the fans, I'm going to give this a handful of blood capsules out of a shower of blood vomit.
Yikes. Yikes.
That's my gory one.
Okay.
2 out of 2 Charlies.
We did it.
Woo!
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I had.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a line at one point where I think it was Charlie actually says, well, at least we're not being lazy because we're coming up with new stuff.
Oh, it's Mac that says that one. Yeah.
I was like, drag them.
Oh no, it's a complete dig at sitcoms.
Yeah, for sure.
And sitcom tropes. So
yeah, I just the WandaVision parallels in this episode. Mm-hmm. Also, I think I mentioned to you earlier or last time we talked about when we did the intro to this episode that this is actually kind of similar to a setup for a Leverage episode as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, called The Rashomon Job.
Oh, yeah, we did talk about that.
And this is a little bit Rashomon-esque as well.
Right.
In its construction. So I will definitely be showing you that episode.
I was gonna say we need to have that episode on the pod.
It's gonna be real good.
I watched Rashomon recently for like the first time.
Did you?
Yeah. So I'm
I haven't seen it.
Oh, I'm gun ho to. It's because it's Akira Kurosawa.
Kurosawa?
Kurosawa.
I think Kurosawa.
Yeah. So incredibly well done because him. Yeah, it's fascinating because it's a narrative of who committed the murder and everyone has a different version.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Ooh, I want to see that Leverage episode.
Yeah, it's really good.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
We've done it. I would say the ostrich was the funniest part of the episode to me. And but overall,
like I said, the hardest I've ever laughed watching the show was the ostrich scene.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Overall, not for me. And actually, you know what? I have one more thing. I am kind of surprised you like this show because you miss I like my characters to be humbled
and wholesome,
grow and learn.
Yeah.
What gives?
You know what's funny is
hypocrites.
Bob's Burgers and Always Sunny.
Yes.
My two favorite shows.
Polar
opposites. I hated both of them when I first started watching them. And it took a while for them to grow on me. I honestly, with Always Sunny, I can't explain why I love it so much.
Yeah.
It's just, I think it's just the satire element of it all.
I was going to say I feel like it has to do with all of the sitcom stuff that you've been talking about.
Yeah.
And making fun of the tropes and
I genuinely, and it's similar to what I said about Bob's Burgers is because you have a different sitcom setup, which for Bob's Burgers, that is a family that loves each other rather than a family that's antagonistic.
Right. And that's like its own genre of animated sitcom as well. Bob's Burgers. I mean, like when we were talking about Bob's Burgers, we compared it to like The Simpsons. And I feel like that's almost its own
absolutely
thing.
Category. You know? Yeah. I hear what you're saying now. And in most animated sitcoms, the family is antagonistic towards each other.
Right.
Bob's Burgers subverts that. The family loves each other.
Yeah.
And as a result, you get new original story ideas.
Right.
Right. And so same thing applies to Always Sunny because it subverts what sitcoms are supposed to be. You see a lot of plots and situations and comedy bits that you would never see in another show. And I think part of why I love it is that novelty.
Okay. Yeah. I can see it.
Yeah. And I think I've pointed this out. I don't know if I said it to you before. I love things with character and with spirit of the creators. I like things that feel genuine to the voice of those who are making it rather than stuff that feels like studio notes.
Got it.
And this to me definitely feels very authentic to the creators of the show.
Okay.
To the voice that they have and the vision that they want to execute.
For sure.
Not to their actual human people. Persons. Yeah. Anyway, that's my take. What are we doing next time? Because it's not WandaVision.
I know. It is. So we've finished WandaVision to a somewhat shaky conclusion.
Yes.
But now we're moving on to Agatha All Along, which is the main event.
Yes, and I am very excited for this.
Yeah, same. So yeah, let me think what I should tell you going into the show. So this does pick up a few years after. So obviously the show aired last year. Okay. WandaVision aired in 2021. It does pick up like that. It follows that timing.
Okay.
So it's been a couple years. I'm not really going to say much more than that as far as the setup because the first episode is like, it drops you in. Is what I want to say.
Okay. Can I tell you what I do remember from what you explained back during?
I was going to say I have given you
2024
some spoilers.
The way you described it to me is the witch's road.
Yes.
She needs a coven in order to do this witch's road thing, which I'm not clear on what it is. I'm just assuming it's a way for her to get more powerful because she's obsessed with that.
True.
But she needs the coven, and then like each episode is basically like a different trial for each of the members of the coven.
More or less, yes.
Okay, that's kind of all I remember.
Okay, great, good. I'm glad. Our opening episode though is completely different.
Ooh,
it's very. We're gonna throw you into this whole other thing.
Okay.
So if you don't remember anything, and I do think I talked about it in that. I
remember you talking about music.
Yeah, music is very important throughout the whole show. So definitely be looking out for that. But I think similar to WandaVision, we should do 2 episodes at a time.
Okay.
They're also relatively short.
Like half hour?
Most of them, yeah. I think the first one is maybe a little bit longer, but not by a lot. So I think that will be a good setup as well for us.
We're going to have to record this at your place.
You think?
Yeah, I don't have Disney Plus. I guess you could log in here, but then you'd have to sit on my couch.
I know. Well, and honestly, like my mom's TV is better than yours too.
Frankly, yes. I know. I need to update my living room. This is not a secret.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, maybe is this the impetus for you to get a new couch and a new TV?
If it wasn't for the fact that I'm about to go live on a massive project in a month and a half, it would be.
It would be.
But I am actually working a lot.
Yeah.
Which is just like a normal human amount, but it feels like a lot to me.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, should I give some stats?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
So Catherine Hahn.
Yeah, so Agatha All Along
Plaza
is the follow-up show to WandaVision, created by Jack Schaefer. Again, like a lot of the same creative team as far as writing and some production as well with WandaVision. So created by Jack Schaefer, yeah, starring Catherine Hahn as Agatha, Aubrey Plaza as Rio, Joe Locke, I have the Wikipedia pulled up, Joe Locke as Teen, and then several other people we pick up along the way. Deborah Jo Rupp is in it. She was in WandaVision as well.
As who?
As you remember the first episode of WandaVision?
Yeah.
The black and white episode?
Yeah.
With the boss
hearts?
and his wife come over? She's the wife.
Oh, Kitty from 70 Show.
So she's a resident of Westview.
Right, yeah.
And she gets pulled into the shenanigans. Yeah.
Okay.
Sashir Zamata, Ali An, and Patti LuPone.
Why is that name familiar?
She is a big deal.
Why is that name so familiar?
Actress and like Tony Award-winning Broadway star, Patti LuPone.
So she's definitely going to be singing.
Everybody's going to be singing, actually. But yes.
Sorry, I'm doing research. I don't know anything that she's in.
Well, you do now.
Well, not yet.
Pretty close.
The name is really familiar, though. So you said she's Tony Award, so a lot of musical Broadway stuff?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, that's probably the only reason I've heard it or heard her name.
I mean, specifically, like, I'm trying to think, like, what's her biggest? Oh, Eva Perón in Evita.
Oh, okay. Not that I've seen it, but that makes sense.
Made her debut in 1973. Yeah, she's awesome. Anyway, so, yeah, I don't think there's much else I want to set up for you right now.
Okay.
I'm really excited for this opening episode.
So the one thing... I'm going to make one prediction.
Okay. Ooh, yes.
Which is where we left Agatha,
yes.
Agnes.
Yes.
Was the Scarlet Witch booping her.
Yes.
And
you are now the nosy neighbor.
Now the nosy neighbor. You are Agnes. You are now a resident here forever. Goodbye. I'll always know where to find you. So here's the thing. It could go two ways, right? Because she booped her, and then right after that, she collapsed the hex. Which... Yes. Was the boop a part of the hex? In which case, as soon as the hex collapsed, Agatha is free and can
you would think not
do what she will. Or is it a separate spell? In which case, how did Agatha get free? Right? So I could see it going two ways. I could see it being like, ha, that dumb bitch. She collapsed the hex. I'm free. Right? Yeah. Or I could see her being like, that dumb fucking bitch. I had to like work so hard to break that spell, and like now she's bitter and angry about it, which is why she's seeking more power, not necessarily to get back at Wanda, but to make sure that that can never happen to her again.
True. I like that. I did remember some important context.
Ooh.
Yes. So between WandaVision and Agatha All Along, there was another Doctor Strange movie.
Oh, right. Because he's the Supreme?
The Sorcerer Supreme.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Wanda is in that movie in a big way.
Okay.
She actually becomes the villain.
Again.
Yeah, but like worse. and she dies. I am using air quotes for the listeners. She dies at the end of that movie.
There's enough superhero characters that die.
She is apparently crushed by falling rocks.
Okay.
So just want to give you that context that going into Agatha All Along, as far as the world knows, Wanda Maximoff is deceased.
So if she is dead, that could also be the thing that breaks the spell.
Could be.
Yeah. Okay. Which would explain then, if Agnes was just biding her time. Because how would she be able to break a spell if she was completely brainwashed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like a spell by the Scarlet Witch.
Right. The most
pretty strong.
Powerful of all.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
All right. So that's probably what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So Wanda must have read whatever the Necronomicon thing was and like gone insane and fulfilled Agatha's prophecy of being like the destroyer of worlds, but was stopped. She's supposed to be stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme though.
Yeah, I mean, so quick synopsis of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, essentially Wanda gets like consumed by this dark magic book thing.
Yeah.
She is convinced that she hears her children off in
right.
ether,
we heard their distant voices
calling
in the last
to her.
shot of WandaVision.
And she is bound and determined to find them.
Okay.
And we end up going on this whole multiverse journey. And at one point, she's going to like basically kidnap her children from another version of her.
Oh, that's cruel.
Long story short, she ends up at the very end seeing the error of her ways, like, choosing to not be the villain as
for the third time.
Yeah, as Monica tells her in WandaVision, don't let them make you the villain. And then that's part of the whole scenario of her. She is actually the one who like pulls the rocks down. So there's other extenuating circumstances happening that I won't get into.
Yeah.
But that's the basic gist.
All right. So she's dead.
And she wrecks some dudes along the way.
Well.
She fucks some people up.
I mean, she's the Scarlet Witch. She has to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and that's the one that's Sam Raimi.
What?
Yeah. Directed that Doctor Strange movie, which is why I thought you would have watched it. But
well, now I kind of want to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got like some crazy zombie stuff.
Dude, I love that guy.
Bruce Campbell is a cameo.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep, I knew you would.
Damn it.
And I've definitely told you before, but...
Has there been a Sam Raimi movie where Bruce Campbell doesn't make a cameo?
I think that's the whole point, isn't it?
I think it is.
Yeah. That's why he was in it.
Shoot, now I actually kind of want to see it.
Right?
Oh, all right.
We can make it happen.
I guess, I could add to the list.
Yeah.
Reluctantly watching more Marvel.
I love it. So good. Okay. So, next time on the show off, we will be doing Agatha All Along. Oh, I'll give you the episode titles. Episode 1, Seekest Thou the Road?
Okay, so that's the whole setup and the premise of seeking out the witch's road.
2, Episode 2, Circle Sewn with Fate, Unlock Thy Hidden Gate.
So that's the second line of the witch's road, right? It's like, or it's one of the lines of the witch's road, because each episode title is like part of the...
Each episode title is part of the ballad.
Down the road.
Down the witch's road.
Yeah, that whole thing. Okay, wait, say it again.
Seekest thou the road, and circle sewn with fate, unlock thy hidden gate.
Circle sewn?
Sewn.
Sewn?
Yeah. Like sewing.
Circle sewn with fate. So the gathering of the coven and officially looping them all. And yes,
you should be reading that deeply into the song lyrics.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean the circle is sewn. The circle of those who are going to go down the road.
With fate.
The fate's sealed. They have to go down this road. There's no backing out.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah. Same. I think you're going to enjoy this more.
I saw the GIFs on Tumblr. They looked fun.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's a little spooky, which I know you like.
I love spooky.
Yep. We're heading into fall.
We are
once again, so perfect timing. Actually, I think it's about the 1 year anniversary of the show. Oh. It was airing around this time last year. Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Alrighty. You can.
What can we do?
You can.
What can anybody do?
You can follow the pod
Yeah, that's a good thing to do.
Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts.
Absolutely.
You also could leave us a comment on Spotify or YouTube.
I'm not setting you up for this one.
No, we're done. But seriously, leave us a comment. Especially if you're an Always Sunny fan. Let us know what you thought of this episode.
Shout out to the person on YouTube who left the comment on our first episode.
Yeah.
When we dropped season 2.
Yeah.
We see you.
Yeah.
Hi.
Somebody's just, I don't even have it pulled up right now, but said, I'm so excited for this season.
Big love.
Thank you.
Big love.
And finally, you can email us at theshowoffpod@gmail.com. Also, you can follow us on Tumblr, but I'm still updating it. Slowly.
I mean, like, I can't talk. I can't. I'm not on there. I keep saying, oh yeah, I'll go on there and do stuff, and then I never do. So I can't talk.
But we have reached some folks with it. So that's super fun.
Nice.
Other than that, we're all wrapped up for this episode, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Show Off. If you enjoyed this one, go ahead and leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast. And give us your review of our episode pick for this week's pod. You can also email us at theshowoffpod@gmail.com. See you all next week.